of things to do. Ranking Angry Video Game Nerds Halloween episodes, oh, that's the epitome of ass. He reviews the worst and crappiest of games. He likes to torture himself doing it, but so do I. Because apparently you guys really like the Christmas ranking, and you guys asked me to do the Halloween one. Fuck it, let's do it. Let's rank the Halloween episodes.
First of all, I just want to say happy Halloween. Sorry we can't have a big epic special this year. Hope you're all staying safe. I'm locked down in the nerd room, my bunker of ass and aardvark farts, about to play another game that's a steaming pile of shit, like the steam is the smell, visualized.
Whoa. Okay. Wow, this is ass. Such ass. Why is this ghost? Oh my gosh. Oh my. Wow. Hey guys, sorry, I'm just playing the freaking Boo Haunted House stage of Angry Video Game Nerd Deluxe 1 and 2 while I wait for AVGen 8-Bit, which apparently is coming out before the Toxic Crusaders video game. Good job, Retro. Anyways, today, you guys asked for it. Last year, for Christmas time, I ranked the AVGN Christmas episodes. Well, in good spirit, since it's Halloween, and let's be honest, he prefers that holiday over Christmas, he has done a lot of Halloween-centric videos, a lot of horror-centric episodes. I thought it'd be a lot of fun to dive deep into the holiday season of Halloween and rank the Angry Video Game Nerd Halloween episodes. Now the crazy thing is that there are in total 26 episodes. However, there's a 4-part episode, so I consider that as one. So that makes it 22 episodes. So yes, today we're gonna rank Angry Video Game Nerd Halloween episode reviews. Let's get into it.
Oh, no!
The Immortal. The Screenwave takeover. AVGN tried something a tad bit different with this one, and well, although cool idea, it just wasn't for me. The nerd walks through a dungeon where he speaks of the game as it plays on various screens. The whole episode feels like a tabletop RPG game review. A goblin fights him as he tries finding a key to escape, where it all culminates with a giant dragon battle. It isn't a bad episode, none really are on this list, but it feels very Screenwave, and they really didn't do AVGN any justice. This probably would have worked better as a Bored James episode.
Banish me to hell if you wish. If hell is the way out, then hell it shall be. Ah! Oh, no!
Beating Jekyll and Hyde. This game is synonymous with AVGN and is the bane of his existence. So why is this one so low? Because it's the third fucking time he reviews it. In all fairness, it's a really well-made episode. The episode is done as an homage to The Exorcist, where we have a future AVGN who comes to the past to aid the present-day nerd in defeating Jekyll and Hyde, and does so in true cinematic fashion. This is where the NES cartridge comes to life, forcing AVGN to reluctantly beat the Famicom version with an end similar to what it's referencing. So it is a fun episode, and one that AVGN felt the need to do, but after 3 times, let's hope that he can actually put this one in the past.
In the name of Nintendo and the seal of quality and all that is good, I cast this unclean game out.
Oh, no!
Nosferatu. So one of the most praised horror films came out last year, Nosferatu, which is why AVGN chose to torture himself with this Super NES title. After a failed attempt to see the film in theaters, the nerd decides to play the game, and it's a typically deceiving SNES game, which looks awesome but is brutally relentless, even worrying it's an LJN game, but don't worry, it isn't. He almost wants to like it, but doesn't. The ending goes black and white, paying homage to Nosferatu. It felt like a way to get in on the Nosferatu hype while playing a bad game in the vein of Castlevania. Like I said, I like the end, but let's see what he offers this Halloween.
Oh, no!
Countdown Vampires. The AVGN is in lockdown. The pandemic forced creators to get creative, and AVGN did a pretty damn good job here. For this Halloween special, he plays Countdown Vampires, an awful Resident Evil clone. He boots it up in his charred PlayStation 1 and inserts a WCW memory card with Goldberg on it. Love that. The nerd plays through comparing it to Resident Evil with awful voice acting, a horrible countdown, and an ending so shitty even I couldn't believe it. In the end, he wastes 9.5 hours when he could have done something much better. It's a fun, typical AVGN gameplay, non-cinematic video. And it was done in lockdown. And for a video done in lockdown, it was a fun time. How odd that an actual Resident Evil game is torn apart by AVGN in another Halloween episode.
This was like a fart coming from the decayed corpse colon of the original PlayStation. Looks like if ass could make a video game. Oh, no!
The Crow City of Angels. Yeah, my in-betweens come from this one. So AVGN gets a flaming bag of shit at his door, brings it into the nerd room, and unfortunately it's the Crow City of Angels on Sega Saturn. I loved Brandon Lee's Crow, but this movie is just ass, and this game proves just that. An awfully designed game with horrid gameplay. There isn't much to say on this one. The game, as usual, becomes increasingly awful as it angers him, and in the end is greeted by Board James with a head-scratching end. I think this one was done just to put out an AVGN Halloween episode, honestly, as the focus of 2025 was in fact Board James. But it's still a funny episode with many heavy metal references.
This game is the equivalent of throwing toilet paper after you wiped your ass. It's as refreshing as a horse's anus. Fuck the Crow up its bird ass, and fuck you, you fucking clown-faced Joker, Kiss makeup wearing King Diamond, Beetlejuice, Alice Cooper, Marilyn Manson motherfucker! Oh, no!
Alien 3, one of the greatest film franchises of all time. The first two Alien films are fucking masterpieces, and no wonder they inspired Contra. AVGN realizes it's an LJN game. Lights flicker and shit gets shitty. The controls are switched around, the graphics are bad, the music is absolute shit, and the gameplay, well, it's LJN, need I say more? In the end, the nerd contemplates why there are no good Alien games and likens the game to the movie. Not at all bad, but not at all good either. It was nice to see one of the best film franchises represented here, with an ending that was just too awesome.
Oh, no!
Dark Castle. Ah, the Sega Genesis. The nerd pops in this 16-bit turd to play, and it starts poorly. The main character resembles Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and the game has no real story either. There's a room named after Burger King, and questionable graffiti. Oh, and the music loops. Well, one of the worst controls on a Genesis game, and a lot of repetitiveness and unfair difficulty. Well, at this point, AVGN is done, but he ends it with anger towards the CDI version. I find it astounding that a game like this was even greenlit. And on multiple consoles? That doesn't make sense.
Oh, no!
Bernstein Bears. I love that AVGen dedicated a Halloween episode to the Mandela effect. AVGen plays 3 Bernstein Bear games: Extreme Sports for the Game Boy Color, then Kidvid on the Atari 2600 with interesting audio, and finally Camping Adventures on the Sega Genesis, with the only game remotely Halloween being on Atari. As it goes on, AVGen notices the spelling of the bear's name, swearing it's Steen, not Stain, and tries to prove it, but he can't. The episode becomes a horror story real quick, where he travels to his childhood home to prove his point, only to be greeted by a dimension-hopping nerd who's on the run from the bloodstained bears. It's low on the list because the game's featured, but it is a creative episode, and now I can't look at the Bernstein Bears the same way again.
Oh, no!
Ghosts and Goblins. So this was chosen due to a fan petition, as AVGen remarks it's not a bad game, but it's one of the most difficultly brutal NES games ever. So after a couple are done humping, Satan steals the woman, and so the main character armors up, and it's up to you to quest off and save her. The game is again as brutal, with weapons that require proper selection or else, and you lose armor as you go. AVGen fights his way through to the final boss, only to have to do the game over. What the fuck, Capcom? You have to beat the game twice over, which sends the nerd into a fit of rage with a hilarious end, with AVGen unable to curse. Give it a watch. Despite its difficulty, guys, Capcom is fucking awesome.
Curse, goddammit! I used up all my fuck points during the last 107 episodes. Oh, no!
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde revisited. Yeah, so this was AVGen's second attempt at this game. He reveals that since his original review, people have played this shitty game, and he must now prove just how awful it is. Well, he does so, and it's nothing new. Awful gameplay all around makes the nerd finish a bottle of tequila before becoming Mr. Hyde, where he digs up the author of Jekyll and Hyde's skeleton to confrontation. AVGen comes to an epiphany though, trying to make sense of the game. What was a fun revisit seems overshadowed now by the more recent Jekyll and Hyde episode. But the fact that this game keeps returning is quite something.
Or you could just say, the game fucking sucks! Oh, no!
Beetlejuice. This is one of the best movies of the 80s, and of course LJN had to shit all over it. He loads his game into the Nintoaster, and despite liking playing as Beetlejuice, it's an instant regret. As the game goes on with its shittiness, he starts giving names to the pointless and awful in-game features, and it is pretty awful. He culminates the game with a fake letter from LJN to an unknown game designer before destroying the NES card. After 10 years of Halloween episodes and AVGen ripping LJN a new one, this one stands out as one of the funnier LJN roasts.
Oh, come on! Why? Of course. It was made by LJN. Oh, no!
Doom. Angry video game nerd decides to play a real treat. Doom. Fucking Doom. One of my personal favorite first-person shooters of all time. Well, he proceeds to play pretty much every Doom port forced onto him by the icon of sin. He plays through Super Nintendo, he plays through the 32X, then the PlayStation 1, he goes with the Sega Saturn, next the Atari Jaguar, onto the 3DO, Game Boy Advance, the ZX Spectrum, which he finds confusing, original Nintendo, Game Boy, What the Fuck Virtual Boy, the Atari 2600, which is a hack, then Real Shit, Tiger Electronics and R-Zone, and various other weird Doom ports are mentioned as well. This culminates in the nerd shitting on the icon of sin for torture. In the end, he comes face to face with the head of John Romero. I thought this was a unique episode, especially with my love for the Doom franchise. Give this one a watch. If you love Doom, you'll like this one.
Oh, no!
Freddy and Jason for Commodore 64. 15 years have passed since the original Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th NES game reviews. He shows the NECA toys, which I own and love. Angry Video Game Nerd tries to play various games for Halloween on the Commodore 64, including Psycho, Ghostbusters, Slimer, The Evil Dead, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, The Munsters, Gremlins, Soulless, and Chiller, until finally moving on to Friday the 13th. Yeah, it's bad, but does have charm, and the music sounds like Old MacDonald. Then finally, A Nightmare on Elm Street makes its way into the fold. He notes actual movie characters, but is unable to play due to a fatal disk crash error. During all this, the Freddy and Jason NECA figures are plotting against Angry Video Game Nerd, culminating in a showdown so fun, I actually grabbed my NECA toys to join in. Although a setup for episode 200, this is one awesome Angry Video Game Nerd episode.
Jason Voorhees had a farm. And on that farm he killed a guy. With a here and a here. Jason Voorhees had a farm.
Oh, no!
Dracula. The nerd plays through multiple games featuring Dracula. He starts with a Count on Commodore VIC-20, which is nothing but words on the screen. Then on to Dracula for the Intellivision. Then he moves over to the Nintendo with Drax Night Out, a blatant Reebok promo game. He switches over to the Game Boy Color for Dracula Crazy Vampire, which is pretty average. Then onto the Nintendo for Sesame Street, The Count's Countdown, where you can use the count, but you can only hop or run until he reaches Bram Stoker's Dracula. First on Nintendo, then next on Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, which are so bad, Fred Fox made them. And finally, Sega CD, which looks great but plays horribly with a hilarious death scene. All in all, this is a good one, especially if you love Dracula. One of 2 Halloween episodes that were made that year. The next entry was, though, my hands down favorite.
I'm sick of it all. Morning sun, vanquish me! Oh, no!
Frankenstein. Angry Video Game Nerd creates a monster so he doesn't have to play shitty games, and creates Franken-Nerd. The nerd first gets his monster to play Frankenstein on Nintendo, the film adaptation, which frustrates the monster. Next is the adventures of Dr. Franken, where the monster attacks AVGN, only to be switched off. Finally, we have on Nintendo Frankenstein, The Monster Returns, which is a Castlevania clone and tough as hell. Upon trying to defeat the final boss, Franken-Nerd awakens and attacks Angry Video Game Nerd, only to be destroyed by the top loader. This is a love letter to one of the greatest films ever made. I highly recommend this, especially for the climax.
Is a game. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein on Super Nintendo. Game. Good. Good. You bet your ass it's good. Oh. Oh! Oh, no!
Resident Evil Survivor. This one is just really awesome. Angry Video Game Nerd plays Resident Evil Survivor for PlayStation 1. All the while, our heroes from Resident Evil fight off enemies next door to the nerd, due to the Umbrella Corporation moving in next door. In a whole, the game was released at the tail end of the PlayStation 1 with bad graphics, bad voice acting, and awful puns. It takes the nerd an hour and a half, to beat this game in his first try. This is where he starts interacting with the characters from Resident Evil, with an awesome cameo from Board James helping the nerd. He fights the game antagonist to mass explosions and gets away in a helicopter. This one is for the Resident Evil fans, as it shows that love and care went into this one. If you're a Resident Evil fan, you need to watch this one. It won't disappoint you.
Oh, good. You made it out too. Well, thanks for destroying my fucking house! You fucks. Oh, no!
Castlevania Parts 1 to 4. So this is a special one. Over a span of 4 episodes, Angry Video Game Nerd plays through Castlevania, Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse, Super Castlevania 4, Castlevania Dracula X, Castlevania 64, Castlevania Bloodlines, and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. As the 2009 Halloween special, he took the opportunity to do a 5-year anniversary special, utilizing what he started the series with. It's a frustrating yet exciting look at one of the greatest game franchises in history. Although this one is a Halloween episode, it does stand apart as more than that, and is a great one to watch if you are brand new to the Angry Video Game Nerd.
No, I already reviewed that game. So anyway... No. Stop. Stop. Stop! Oh, no!
A Nightmare on Elm Street. The nerd sleeping dreams he is playing A Nightmare on Elm Street for the Nintendo, forced onto him by Freddy Krueger. You're some random dude dodging insects, bats, reptiles in the real world as Freddy looks on. You also move to the dream world, and it's the same but with monsters and the occasional text flashing. It's a shitty game with bad controls and difficulty made by LJN, of course. There's also a 4-player mode where AVGen multiplies to play, only to have Freddy kill the clones one by one in fun fashion. In the final confrontation, AVGen is revealed to be Freddy himself, and is defeated by the Power Glove. 20 years later, this episode still holds up, and I still highly recommend it.
You like Nintendo? You like to play shitty games?
No.
You fucking nerd!
Oh, no!
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We start with an homage to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre intro, then see Angry Video Game Nerd walking up to a man selling games. After a comical back and forth over nonsense pricing, the nerd leaves with 2 games, one of them unseen, but the other being the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Atari 2600. The premise of the game is to slaughter people. Sorry, YouTube. The thing is, you need a chainsaw fuel as life, and you get stuck on random things, which prevents you. During the review, Chop Top bursts into the nerd room as he fends him off, only to be chased by Leatherface. This is where he encounters the man from earlier who was selling him the games, who knocks him out conscious with his guitar. The dinner scene is recreated from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, yet in this case, he's forced to play the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Atari 2600, only to escape. But as Leatherface is chasing him, Leatherface is blocked by the most random thing. A great homage to the greatest horror movie ever. This is high up on my list for sure.
Oh, no!
Friday the 13th, the original Halloween special. The nerd starts the game only to have Jason Voorhees strong Harmon into playing. I love how the whole way he pretends to love the game to appease Jason. Well, the game is another LJN shitfest. You control a camp counselor wandering around using rocks with awful hit detection to get yourself to the cabins to find Jason and fight him like in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! In the end, Jason and AVGN have a confrontation where AVGN ends Jason with the NES gun zapper. This was one of the first episodes I ever saw of AVGN and has one of the best quotes for a game over screen in AVGN history.
You and your friends are dead. Game over. It's priceless. Like, I can't believe it. Isn't that a mean thing to say to kids? Nobody ever dies in Nintendo. They're either defeated or they turn into an item and like float away. But here comes a game like Friday the 13th that just cuts the bullshit, shows some balls, comes flat out and says, you're fucking dead. And your friends too. Beautiful. And what if there was a sequel? It would have to say something even worse. Like, I got it. I got a good idea what it should say. It should say, you're dead, your friends are dead, your family's dead, your fucking pets are being skinned alive, your mom's a fucking whore, you suck at life, the whole world hates you, you're going to hell, live with it. Game over.
And as a Friday the 13th fan, this was done so well that it blew my mind. Another 20-year-old video which still holds up and you gotta check out.
Don't kill me. Kill me.
Oh, no!
Halloween. A sweet Halloween intro parody starts off this great episode. Angry Video Game Nerd needs to babysit, but not before playing Halloween on the 2600, which was the unknown video game in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre episode. Well, it's nothing. Michael Myers is chasing Laurie around and pretty much that's it. Although when he catches you, it's fucking hilarious.
What I have to show you is what happens when you die. It's fucking hilarious. Your head disappears and you run around spurting pixelated blood out your neck. What you're looking at might be the first head decapitation ever in a video game. It's by far the most amusing part of the game, and after only a few minutes you'll find yourself doing this deliberately.
Trick-or-treaters come by, he gives them the game, and after shitting in the trick-or-treater's bag, he plays Haunted House with a meatwad-looking character, and then Frankenstein's monster, which leaves the screen, and then he leaves to go babysit. Upon getting to the home of the kids he needs to babysit, it is the trick-or-treaters from earlier, and they force him to play Halloween. Just as the lights go out, he goes to check and is attacked by Michael Myers as a battle for survival ensues, with the kids defeating him. This is a classic cinematic AVGN episode, and I can't recommend it enough.
Was that the poopy man?
Yeah, I think it was. Oh, no!
Polybius. Holy shit, what an episode. The whole premise is basically the urban legend game cabinet Polybius. The nerd goes into backstory and hoaxes and that he may have found the real thing, but he's not certain. We follow the nerd over 5 days documenting his experience in an arcade reseller room playing Polybius. After day 1, he has no evidence and is unimpressed. On day 2, he becomes more engulfed with the game and is enjoying it. Day 3 is where it gets intense, where the nerd locked himself into the room willingly but with no recollection, and the game forces him to stay. On day 4, he's losing touch with reality, trying to hide the game but also trying to show it to the viewers, being enslaved by Polybius. Now on the final day, he's still fighting for his life. He achieves the high score, believes that he's free, only to have Polybius trap him forever. The episode ends with eerie footage and a jump scare. Why is this number 1? This is what horror is. And James Rolfe crafted a perfect Angry Video Game Nerd episode based on video game lore that can scare you shitless. Also, when we think Halloween, we think horror movies, and this captures the Halloween season flawlessly.
So fuck this game! Die, monster! You don't belong in this world!
This is ass. This is ass. This is such ass. Yo. Oh. Okay. This is even worse than the games reviews. And and there was a checkpoint too. Oh, hey guys. So there you have it. There's my ranking of the Angry Video Game Nerd Halloween episodes. I love the Angry Video Game Nerd. They're very comforting to me. Whether it's the Christmas episodes, whether it's the Halloween episodes, whether it's just random episodes. This year he did an episode with War and it was so good. This year AVGN has been on a really good path of videos. And I cannot wait to watch the new Halloween episode. Let me know down below what you think of the ranking. Would you have retooled it a little bit? And not just that, let me know what your absolute favorite AVGN Halloween episode is, but also your favorite AVGN episode in general is. But I appreciate you guys watching this whole entire list in its entirety. If you did, I really do appreciate it. Again, this was a big undertaking for me to do. That being said though, if you are brand new to my channel because you love ranked videos, you love funny stuff, goofy shit, you love video game stuff, all that fun stuff, retro things, or if you've been watching my channel for the longest time, you haven't already done so, please and thank you, subscribe to my channel. While you're there, click the bell to be notified whenever I got some brand new content out. Also guys, if you like this video and you're liking the content in general, let the algorithm know, click that thumbs up button, and also share the video. Share the video with the nerd himself, let him know that I ranked his shitty gameplay videos. Alright guys, that's going to be it for me today. I cannot wait for AVGN 8-bit so I can stop playing the deluxe games. Cannot wait to get my hands on that, especially the Toxic Crusaders, whenever the hell that comes out. Alright guys, get out of here today. I'm going to get out of here today. Maybe in the new year in 2026, maybe I'll rank the Board Games episodes for you guys. Maybe that'll be a lot of fun to do. Stay cool, stay nerdy, keep hunting, keep playing those shitty video games that are complete ass. And on that note, I'll leave you with the nerd as I finish my game. Fucking thing.
Well, fuck this game, watch it go!
Beetlejuice! It's showtime! I've seen The Exorcist 167 times. It keeps getting funnier every fucking time! Happy Halloween, motherfucker!